Meat is amazing, and you should enjoy it at its best form.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Hi YouTube. Today we're gonna be reacting with chat. Vegans versus meat eaters, and this is Middle Ground by Jubilee.
If you raised an animal, you gave them a name, say it's a baby pig, you raised them from a baby, could you slit that 6-month-old pig's throat?
Absolutely. I want some bacon, bro. Come on. Sizzle it up on the grill for breakfast next to an omelet. Eat it up. So good.
Yes, you could do that.
I could do that.
Honestly.
Yes.
Because I understand the cycle of life, and I understand that this pig,
Could you slit your dog's throat?
I have invested this time.
That's different. That's an actual companion. A pig's a pig.
To raising this pig, into developing the nutrients, into living a safe, comfortable life, and in turn, I get to be nourished and taken care of as well.
Yeah, bro, the pig is getting taken care of. But he doesn't. The only thing that pigs give us is meat. I'm sorry, it's the truth. Dogs, they give us loving. They're smarter. Pigs just eat and sleep all day. Dogs want to run around. They can tell if you're happy or sad. Even them, like, they know whenever they are, in trouble. Pigs don't.
Animals are put on earth to be eaten by humans. Step forward if you agree with the prompt.
Agreed. Not all. Not all. But most. Majority.
So I'm Bella. I am a carnivore, so basically that means I've been on a carnivore diet of eating only animal foods for the past 6
Shut up. She may be on a carnivore diet, but she ain't a carnivore. She's an omnivore. She can eat both. Shut up.
years. I was also vegan for 6 years, right before I went carnivore. So I feel like I do have a pretty good sense of how I feel, my health, and the purpose of the food that I'm eating with both lifestyles. So when I was vegan, I actually lost my period. So I was no longer fertile. I had extreme skin issues, psoriasis, cystic acne. I had also mental health issues. I used to be a classical pianist, and I studied at Juilliard for 2 years. Yeah, so like, I just remember going on stage, and I couldn't remember the pieces that I was supposed to perform.
It's almost like we need to be eating meat. Like it's natural for a human to eat meat. We're born to. Obviously, you're gonna lose motor functions if you don't eat meat. You're not gonna think right if you don't eat meat, and your body's not gonna be healthy enough to sustain itself. Oh my gosh.
I was panicking. I was like, what is going on with my memory? Why can't I focus in the practice room?
You need
And
both.
Why am I feeling so nervous and anxious right before stepping out? So to me, that says a lot about whether or not the foods I'm eating are supporting me. So when I stopped the vegan diet and went fully carnivore, the difference in my mental health, in my confidence, in my fertility as well was just night and day.
Yeah, now listen, don't get me wrong, a carnivore diet is great. I've tried it for a little bit. It's beautiful. It makes you feel alive. But will I say that you're missing certain fibers and nutrients that you can get from vegetables? Yes. That's why you need to be eating both. And it's not just meat and vegetables and fibers. No, it's protein, carbs, and fats. You get that from a plethora of foods. Rice, veggies, and meats. So you should be eating all of them, really.
It's kind of amazing how that works, huh?
Yeah.
As coming from a hunting and conservation background, and also in ag, yeah, you'll definitely learn where the denser protein comes from and the higher quality protein. I personally have been
His mustache is crazy, I'm not gonna lie.
7 or so years, but basically my whole life, I've fed my family off of almost 100% wild game of some type. whether it be deer or elk or pigs or ducks, you definitely have a closer feel to what you're consuming when you have full control over it. You're not buying it from somebody at the grocery store that who knows where it came from, how it was handled before it got there.
100%. 100%. Most of the meat I eat and my family eats is all from like farms and or hunting or fishing. Like little bit, just a tiny bit from the store. But that's only if we can't get our hands on meat that has been, cut up by us or a family friend.
And yeah, I think they're here for you to eat. I don't think strictly for us. I mean, whoever needs that protein.
Whoever
needs
needs
that
it, yeah.
And it's been that way for millions of years.
So I'm a raw meat eater, meaning I only eat raw animal products. And
That's disgusting, ma'am. Ma'am, you need help. Get yourself a skillet, a grill, and enjoy how meat should be digested, eaten, chewed. Meat is amazing, and you should enjoy it at its best form. I can't believe she said she's a raw meat eater. Of course she is. Hold up. Of course she is.
I found that, finding myself here, I had to go through a long, extensive journey of finding the truth about what is true about our diets, about nutrition, about the world, about spirituality as well. And I think when it comes to thinking about if we are meant to eat animals and that animals are meant to be eaten by us, we have to remember that we are at the top of the food chain, and being at the top of the food chain, it doesn't mean that we can just go on a rampage and do whatever we want, kill animals and eat them all, but it comes with a responsibility. The
Agreed.
strength of being at the top, having the conscious ability to
You gotta be smart.
make those long-term decisions and put in the long-term investment to raise animals for food. It takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of knowledge, and that is something that we humans have the power to do. And so I see it as, yes, we're at the top, but being at the top comes with that responsibility to ethically care for
Are these two
animals,
sisters?
because
They
it's
look
this
like
beautiful
sisters.
relationship where
Like same
we
skin
take
color
care of the
too.
animals, and like you said, you eat a wild game, you understand the cycle of life of
Yeah,
the animals.
absolutely.
And so I think it's just honoring this beautiful relationship where we nourish and take care of the animals. In turn, nature rewards us by nourishing and taking care of us as well.
All right. Can we have the discussion?
Wow, she got very philosophical there. I mean, it's a pretty simple answer. We're at the top of the food chain. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to be smart. Meat is good. Vegetables are good. Period. That's all you have to say.
I think it's incredibly self-centered to say that animals have been put on this earth to feed us. Like, I don't think we should act like they're
Then who? Then who? If animals eat other animals, and if you look at us, look at our body composition, everything, we are an animal. We're smarter than the animal, but we have animal cells. But yes, we are smarter than the animal. We actually have a brain. We can actually think. Here's the thing, though. If animals can eat animals, and we are technically an animal, in a way, that means we can eat animals. It's protein. It's natural. And I know this Jack guy right here, he's going to be like, oh, you can get protein from nuts and blah, 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 blah. Look at me. I'm so jacked. I go to the gym, blah, blah, rethink protein shirt. I don't care. You are not gonna look and feel and function as good by just getting protein from nuts. If you took in and ingested meat, you'd look way better, you'd feel way better, and you most likely be way stronger. I bet that right there is mostly just looks.
The world revolves
Just saying.
around us as humans. And you say, that we have the power as humans to raise animals for food and to farm them. We also have the power not to do that. We have the power to treat them with kindness. And
That's true.
compassion. And
Like
I,
dogs,
as a factory farm
cats.
investigator, a slaughterhouse investigator, I go into these places. 99% of the
Go find a real job.
animal products in the United States come from factory farms, and I've been in these places. It is hell on earth. There's nothing humane that happens in those places, even when they claim that it's ethically sourced, when they claim that it's humane, it is not. There are animals screaming, there are animals dying, there are animals languishing in their own feces on certified humane facilities. And we have the power not to do that. And I think that's the conversation we should be having, not that we have the power to.
She looks like one of them creepy dolls that you buy at the store, like at a Goodwill or something. Like, it's all ran down, used, done. Like, look at her. Her hair is not done well. Like, she's not presenting herself well. And, like, she's kind of just thrown on what she has in the closet. I'm sorry to you, but, like, that's just what it looks like to me.
Do it so that we should.
I do agree with that sentiment. The reason I disagree with the prompt is that it felt a bit too like anthropocentric for me. Like
What?
it's very
Anthropocentric.
like human supremacist in a sense. Like
Oh, it's one of you guys.
I am like I do eat meat. Like I'm omnivore, I guess, but I don't think that their express purpose is, for us to consume them. Like we do live, they're a part of the land, they're a part of the cycle. We do live with them, and we do owe them a degree of respect. I ultimately do oppose the current standard that we have of like factory farming. This is a big intersectional thing actually where it does impact more than just, the environment. It leads to a lot of like indigenous land theft, and to that extent as well, like it's eating up a lot of land. So naturally, I feel like I do resist factory farming and advocate more.
Listen, I'm against factory farming too. I get naturally sourced meat, naturally sourced eggs, milk, all of that. But to feed the amount of people that we have on this earth, this planet, we kind of need to do factory farming. I'm sorry, but it's true. And if you don't like it, oh well. That's the reality of things. I'm just saying.
For sustainable, but not to the extent of like no meat at all.
Oh! Oh my, look at this guy. Holy. Hold on. That's not what I want. There we go. Oh wow, look at this guy. Oh man. I have something to say about you, bro. Listen, bro. Please, for my sake, bro, grow out your hair. Grow out your eyebrows, bro. Or not even for my sake, for your sake, bro. You are not pulling any chick with that, bro. Listen. Listen to me closely, okay? You look ugly. My bad. That's way too judgmental. You're choppy, bro. You ain't pulling. Especially with that butt chin. Like, you did the worst thing you could do to yourself. The buzz. No eyebrows. Oh my gosh, she's got 2 piercings. Oh, you're done, buddy. You need a year to yourself to just glow up. I'm telling you right now, you could do that if you ate meat. I'm just saying, bro. Okay. Hold on. Let's get back to where we were.
Like I don't think eating meat is inherently immoral. There could be a lot more respect.
Chopped.
Towards,
He was so
like,
chopped.
Seeing it more as equal rather than like, oh, we're at the top.
So to say that animals are placed on this earth just to be eaten, it's like saying you agreed with the fact that black people were considered just to be slaves.
Gosh, bro. dude. When are we gonna get... listen. I love black people. I have black people in my family. But listen. Not everything is about black people. Not everything is about slavery. This is completely different. Stop bringing slavery and all this stuff up into conversations that don't need to be brought up. What are we talking about? You're one of them woke activist people that use your skin color as a weapon. Stop. Golly. And before you tag me and say I'm white, I'm from Romania. Romania. I'm from Europe. At least I have a brain. Golly. And I'm not white. I'm like Mexican color. And I can say that because so many people have confused me with Mexican, including Hispanics.
They were only here just for slavery. And if you go back in time, looking at ancient history within even especially just America itself. History, right?
Like, this guy is on my nerves right now.
Think of where the word picnic comes from. It's a picnic, right? So you get it, hang up a tree.
Wait, is that true? Is that true? Hold on, Chad. Let's fact check him real quick. Where does the word picnic come from? Let's see. Jim Crow Museum vocabulary blanket statement. The origins of picnic. Okay. Whatever. Wow, I'm not reading this. I'm sorry. Give me something better. What is this? Dude, give me something straight. Give me some straight up. Like, a picnic is a meal taken outdoors as part of excursion, especially in scenic surroundings such as... Okay, blah, 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 blah. Is the word picnic racist? Etymologically speaking, picnic from the French words pique-nique is... Whoa, that was close. But... is nothing more than a potluck dinner. Fact check. You're stupid.
Then now, you're having a picnic, eating your animal flesh around this person because that's how you see it. So you're seeing this animal as the same type of individual. Like, the animal has no life. It has no existence but to fuel your supposed protein needs that you need, or supposedly your health is not good because your personal experience. But to say that that's your personal experience justifies everybody else's.
She's so uncomfortable. I don't know why, but
that they should eat just because 6 years you did it, you tried it, but now 6 years you're doing carnivore. Oh, it works so well.
Yeah, for you to discredit my own experience.
Yeah, but that's
with
your
my
own experience,
vegan
right?
diet.
You can't just
6 years of
assume
vegan
that
diet.
eating
So-
okay. But that means if it's her own experience, other people will have that experience. So that means not everyone can be vegan and be pushed to your same values, I guess. I don't know.
Animals
Are you
is-
saying that I did it wrong?
No, I'm not saying you did it wrong.
Right.
That's your own
And that's
personal
why I
experience.
said
Yes!
it, because
Exactly.
this is my person.
So how can you agree that everybody should eat now?
I never said that I feel like
didn't hear
everybody
anybody
should
say
eat
that.
carnivore.
Well,
Everybody
that's
should
what I
eat
want
meat.
to point out. So it's not about everybody. It's your own personal experience, right?
No,
That's what's wrong.
everyone should eat carnivore. Or not carnivore, but in an omnivore way. Everyone should eat meat. Pause. Because it's natural. It's nothing. It's not unnatural. It's normal.
Exactly.
Also, I think it's very unfair to compare the lives
not
of,
unfair.
of black people
Not un-
to that of animals. Like,
Yes. Thank you.
you put that in your own words, that it's very similar to the way black people were slaves. We are enslaving animals for food, like completely different.
Why do you think that an animal's life is worthless than any other form of social injustice? There is a time
Oh no. This girl needs to shut
when
up.
gay marriage wasn't legal.
Oh! Chopped! Doesn't even need to be heard out.
When black people were slaves, and now there's animals that are kept in factory farms and slaughtered for their flesh.
Okay, this is what I call feeding the flame. This is stupid. You're adding stupid facts and opinions and blah, 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 blah into it just because you want to have a voice.
What's any different about that? Because you can't talk to them in the same
You just want to hear your own voice, girl. Come on, admit
There's
to
plenty
it.
of animals that are smarter than humans. A three-year-old child has the same intelligence as a pig. So.
I do.
It's a child. They're going to be eating, obviously. They're going to be mothered, obviously. But a 3-year-old child knows how to speak a few words. That makes them smarter than a pig. You idiots. Maybe at like 1.5. But like after that, they kind of start picking up words. Even before that, like they start saying mama, dada. Pigs can't say that. They just go.
I want to jump off that real quick just to talk about the enslavement of animals in our society today. And I want to ask you specifically, you said that you feel close to the animals that you murder, slaughter, and rip away from their families. Do you ever feel or have any sympathy for what the animals go through when
No.
you kill them, how their family feels? Animals are the same, all animals are the same. And
Okay. Most animals do not care about their offspring. Once they're grown, they leave them alone. It's true because it rhymes. But listen, once they're grown, they leave them alone, out in the wild. Because at that point, their instincts have kicked in. They know what to do. Like, you think we should feel bad for an animal that's all alone? No. Like, they might find a pack or something later. But no.
especially animals that you kill, to humans in all the ways that really matter. They feel pain. They experience joy. They have families. And you are taking their life away from them when you have other options available and you don't have to make that choice.
In
And
the
that's the
same
power
way
of personal
people own
choice.
pets, they bring pets into their own care, into their own hands. They love them, they house them. They guarantee that these pets are given food, given shelter. It is no different when we are raising animals for food. And I think if there's middle ground here that we can all agree on, it's that factory farming is unethical. I personally do not support factory farming. I do not purchase from places that support factory farming. I support, local farmers markets, local butchers that are locally sourced, connected to small farmers.
Actually, you know what? I'm going to stop here real quick. I'm going to just say, I want every vegan to experience, all right, what they are preaching. Please go hug a bear. Tell me how that goes. Just a suggestion.
And so when it comes to raising animals for food, it is no different knowing that these animals have a very direct impact on our lives, on our health. We want to love and take care and nourish the animals. And so, animals out in the wild, they have that chance of being dead, eaten, killed, swept away from harsh conditions. They have that chance of contracting diseases from the outside, and they could be dead today. Within our care, presumably on an ethical farm, I think we can all agree, like I said, factory farming, unethical. But on an ethical farm, we are taking the animals into our own care. We are giving them that guarantee of being fed today. They have that shelter today. We have that bond with them today. And we create this beautiful relationship where we understand that.
Shut up.
Is a reality because there's 4 people sitting here living proof that veganism is also a reality and also an option. And third, I would say that there is no nourishing the animal.
I'd argue it's a stupid option. This is a stupid question. Let's move on.
Animal rights are just as important as human rights.
Animals don't have rights. I'm sorry. Animals don't have rights. They're going to get chopped up, eaten up. The only animals that shouldn't get chopped up and eaten up are like dogs and cats. And guinea pigs. I guess. But other than that, free game. Animals don't have rights. I'm skipping this.
Slaughter an animal.
I think there are especially inhumane ways to slaughter an animal. I'm actually currently wearing an ankle monitor, and I'm facing up to 5.5 years in prison for.
Oh, that's why she's talking crazy. Because she's not even supposed to be there. She's on house arrest. I think, right? There's a reason why she's crazy.
Rescuing chickens from a particularly cruel slaughterhouse.
You were rescuing chickens from a... That is not your property. You understand that people bought those chickens, which makes it theirs. They put in the work to breed them, which makes them theirs. You're not... And you probably went, 1, on private property, so that's trespassing. 2, you stole chickens. That's robbery, stealing. 3, you're crazy. Obviously.
Thanks.
That's awesome work. Bro, who does he look like? Who does he look like? What's that one actor's name? You know who I'm talking about. Ooh. Oh my gosh.
Purdue's Petaluma Poultry Slaughterhouse, and they were exposed for boiling chickens alive.
I want to burn his shirt.
And other atrocities, and I mean, which is obviously sadly more common than people think.
Both of these two are sick in the head.
In slaughterhouses, but even while I am grateful that I was able to save a few chickens from an especially horrible fate, I know that
Fried chicken is a horrible fate. Not for me.
there's still no humane way to kill an animal.
I look at it in the same sense that humane and slaughter actually they don't go together. You know, I don't see how that's possible. I mean, yes, of course, in the past,
I'm not sure if there's a humane way. Do I care? No. I mean, humane. How do you even say that without suffering, right? Oh, that's easy. Knock him in the head. Or just like ducks. I'm pretty sure you kill ducks just by like snapping their neck. They're done. They're not alive anymore. It's just their nerves making their wings flap, and that's it.
Would we have considered that slaughter? What I'm talking about is human sacrifices to said gods and different ideologies. They would take the first virgin or whatever and sacrifice them, and she didn't want to go, but of course the people thought that that's the way it should be. So to me, humane and slaughter don't go together. So I don't see that there's possible to have humane slaughter.
Yeah, you make no sense. Let's see what the disagreeers have to say. I hope.
The way I see it is that if we are not using the animals for food, there is a chance that out in the wild they are being hunted, eaten, killed by other predators to be used as food at the end of the day.
So we should already have the right to do that, to eat them. Because if they don't get eaten by us, they're getting eaten by another animal. So I think it's more of an honor for them to be eaten by us, the people at the top of the food chain.
And I see it as like the scarcity of life is what gives our lives value, right? The fact that death is coming for all of us is what makes our lives so beautiful and meaningful.
I'm just trying to see if there's a
And
humane way to...
understand this. When they're out in nature, they're living in constant awareness.
Alright, shut up.
It's
Next.
to working the life
Next person.
perspective.
Next person.
There's
Why are you still talking?
Chance of
Oh, I don't want to hear this.
just out in the woods and very painful.
Dying, I mean, that's really just not the meaning of life to me. It's not to exist or exist longer. It's about what we do well.
Listen, you probably had an opportunity or an experience in life where your dog died or your cat died and you cried and you were sad, and then you were feeling for other animals, and how did they feel? Hey, it's natural. They live short lives, whether they get hunted, eaten, or die. Dogs and cats, leave them alone. We're not even supposed to eat them. But pigs, cows, deer, they're going in my mouth, getting chewed up, swallowed, paws, and in my stomach, and then later flushed down the toilet. It's natural. It's gonna happen. I'm sorry.
Over here.
And I think the main takeaway here is sort of what you said, where it's about the idea of, yeah.
I don't ever want to listen to this kid Mason. I don't. Look at what you're wearing, bro. Next.
Vegans are better human beings than meat eaters.
Oh. Oh! The super crazies. I got you. The
I
lunatics.
think what this comes down to is what we define as a good human being. At the end of the day, I don't see, for instance, trapping animals, killing animals, using animals for our own human gain as a
No, that's good. You know what? If you want to talk about that, bet. You're killing plants. You're chopping them up, eating them up. They got lives too. They got plant cells. They're living. They can grow just like us. Humans can grow. If you want to use that type of logic, I'm going to use it against you. I'm sorry, but you're killing plant lives. That's a life just as much as an animal, right?
find good and just thing to do. And my definition of veganism is taking a stance that rejects all sorts of exploitation for all animals. And I think that if we as humans can't accept the principle that other animals are not ours to
You're horrible for eating plant lives. There. Destroyed him. Next.
I can see myself switch to the other side.
Oh, wow. Oh!
So, you know, diet is not so black and white. I think like when it comes to what you're eating, it's really about the quality of what you're eating and the intention behind why you're eating it.
I'm surprised. She's the raw eat meter. Pause. But like she said it herself. I think you should include both, not just one or the other. I think you should include both. It's healthy for you. It's natural. Sorry.
Right, so I'm just gonna paint two extreme examples. Let's take a vegan who's living out in the lush environment, maybe along the equator, maybe walks barefoot every day, sees the sun, and is growing this beautiful mango tree that is grown on good soil, receives good sunlight.
Next.
This conversation, openly discussing these polar opposite topics, but still being able to find a middle ground. So I really appreciate that.
Veganism is for the privileged.
I think this question shouldn't even be a question. I think veganism's for everyone. And so is being an omnivore and a carnivore. It's not for the privileged. It's for everyone. You can go, you can make a garden in your backyard and eat vegetables. You can go outside, eat grass like animals. I'm just saying, it's for everyone.
I personally believe a vegan diet, if you actually want to thrive and be healthy on this lifestyle, it's not cheap. It is not the most affordable diet at all.
Have you heard of frozen vegetables? They're pretty cheap.
And I will tell you, being a carnivore, eating only meat, eating only animal foods, my grocery bill is less.
Well, you're lying. Vegetables, fruits, they're pretty cheap if you look in the right places. If you don't go to just Whole Foods and stuff like that, you should be chilling. Go to Kroger's. That's fine. They're pretty cheap there. Meat and other meats and more meats and meats. They're more expensive than vegetables. Because if you match the quantity of meat and vegetables they have to eat on a normal basis, meat is more expensive by weight than the vegetables. Just saying. I wish I could try a carnivore diet for like 3 months, 4 months, but I can't because it's expensive. She's lying.
When I was shopping for vegan, so I recognize that to eat.
You know what? I'm done with this video. This is a stupid video. I basically broke down every person's stupid argument and stupid debate with my own facts so quick.